Hello, 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 and welcome in PowerPass, your ticket to greatness. And so today, the topic is self-confidence and self-worth and value. Those are the three things that I observed that are resurfacing currently during this time. And it is something worth mentioning and worth speaking about because a lot of people they want to have higher self-confidence. They want to have a higher self-value, self-worth. But what does it mean? It's very vague. How does it person knows that they are self-confident? What's the factor that allows us saying, okay, I feel good in my own skin, I trust myself, I know myself, and I don't care about what other people saying. So does it make us arrogant or does it make us self-confident? And how can we distinguish these two things? Those are all the questions that I've got for today. And also a few things about chakras. So maybe you'll be able to explain me more about it.
Okay, so um, what you said, it's really interesting because usually it's true. People get confused about the self-confidence and the arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the thing is always like to find the balance. Okay, because one thing is you trust in your words, you are confident about yourself. Another thing is when you use your confidence exactly to attack the others or put them in a very low position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like you step over the others, because if you are stepping over the others, it's not just about self-confidence, it's about arrogance, because in that case, it's like you put the pride in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the pride is very good, but again, it's an instinct and needs to be balanced, because it's always the rule is always something like this. If I'm not respecting the other,
Mm-hmm.
don't come with, sorry for the word, with bullshit saying that you respect yourself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah. Because everything
Period.
comes from us. If we know
Yes.
how to respect ourselves, we will be able to project these feelings outside and respect other people. If
Mhm.
we don't have it, it's impossible to know how
Yes.
to respect another person. The same is with love. The same is with any other emotion. If we direct it for ourselves first, then we have the experience that we can truly give to another person. Yeah. So for me, the definition of self-confidence is the trust to
Mhm.
yourself, to your own abilities, and knowing of self, knowing
Yes.
who I am, what do I like, what do I tolerate, what is my no-no, and what are my values.
Mhm.
So then if I know it and I put my values and myself on the first place, I stop caring about what other people are saying and
Mhm.
to adapt to what they expect us to be.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
paradoxically, if we behave that way, putting our own values firstly, other people will look up to us saying, oh, they are self-confident because they don't care to please other people.
Mhm.
They are following what they are feeling. And also we can be arrogant in some situations that, for example, pass through our values.
Yes.
So
Be-
let's say, sorry, we can be perceived as arrogant because that's something different. Yeah, other people, oh, you don't want to do what I'm saying, what I'm telling you, so you are selfish and you are arrogant. And no, it's like I'm keeping my own values and I don't want to break my own values for you. So that's the trick that we need to
Mhm.
understand, that sometimes bending to other people and following their will, it is following their own selfishness and it's
Yes.
not showing respect to yourself.
Yeah. It's always something that you have to keep aware regarding the judgment. So every time that you are here, okay, around people, someone will have a kind of idea about you. So it's very easy that this person creates judgments about
Hmm.
you. Okay. And the difference between judgment and self trust is that you know that even if the other judge you with some perception that belongs to him or to her, doesn't fit with you, or even it can fit, okay, but it's like, yes, I know what is catching,
Hmm.
but I know exactly where I am standing,
Yes.
because it's a bit difficult sometimes, the conversation that we put it in a very simple way, like, I don't care about the others say, and don't keep in mind what they judge about you. This is a very simple way of putting the things, but the things go further, because this implies that you know quite well yourself.
Hmm.
And I think I mentioned this here before, because for you, you know yourself very well. You have to know exactly what you don't like.
Hmm.
Then it's easier for you to step in the road of exactly what I like and what I prefer. Because if even you don't know exactly what is not acceptable for you, goodbye self-worth, goodbye
Hmm.
self-love, goodbye
Yes.
self-confidence. So all these that can give you a sense of empowerment just vanish.
Poof, disappear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is important to start discovering your own values. What do you tolerate? What do you agree for? And see how much it goes with your self-respect, with your self-value, and finding the balance between them and keeping your values as something that you don't break, not for
Yeah.
other people, not for yourself. Because if you break them, it will make you feel miserable. And you will start judging yourself, start punishing yourself, and go in this
Mm-hmm.
beautiful vicious triangle that so many people are in.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about something else. Well, it's connected with the self-confidence, but it's what I observed by working with
Mm-hmm.
my clients. When I work with clients with low self-esteem, with low self-confidence, especially they want to be more outgoing. They want to go in the social environments and speak with people and don't feel judged, don't be worried or anxious about it. So, uh,
Your camera is stopped again.
yes, I've noticed it. And it's okay, but I will cut it and add it once again. So
Okay.
when
So.
when people are in this kind of energy, anxiety or social problems that they are blocking themselves because they don't don't want to be judged or don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
perceived in a wrong way
Yeah.
by other people. So I've noticed that this kind of feeling is being implanted in them in very
Mm-hmm.
early childhood. And so in this early childhood, they are not generating those emotions. Those emotions that they are feeling are being taken from their parents, from their older siblings, from people who feel some kind of
Yeah.
consternation or anxiety, and because of the child's behavior.
Yeah.
So I give you an example. When I was working with my self-confidence, I got to a moment from my early childhood in which I was going on a trip with my mom. And I was a very outgoing kid. I was going
Mm-hmm.
from seat to seat, playing with people, asking them, they were giving me food and sweets and stuff. And in one of the moments, my mom felt embarrassed about me because I
Mm-hmm.
was too outgoing. I was going and bothering other people. And in that moment, I felt her embarrassment. And like for years after that, I was feeling this kind of anxiety while going and speaking with people because of something. And until I was able to understand that it wasn't even mine, that was something that my mom projected on me. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, why should I have it? So
Yeah.
how can we discover that that our self-esteem, our self-confidence is coming from us or it's coming from other people? How can we get there?
Okay, so I think one thing that it's quite important to mention here is we really have a difficulty in understanding that the perception that the others build about the world, even ourselves, are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because even, for example, you can fight with me about the color. I think that is pink and you think that is coral, and we carry on in our fight because for me that
Yes.
is pink and for you is coral.
Yes.
So all of us, we really have a perceptive system
Mm-hmm.
that it's not the same, period. So all of us, we have a different perception, okay?
Yes.
Even about physical things. So if in physical things that our senses can see, can perceive, if these changes from person to person, imagine emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so emotions is really the planet of the illusion.
Yeah.
And when you have this kind of emotions, again, you said something that it was like I felt her embarrassment. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when we are children, of course, we really are sponges. We are absorbing everything
Mm-hmm.
around us, and of course, with the time, we start exactly to understand the name of the emotions and about what we are feeling. So this is a kind of energy. Okay, your mom in that moment, I don't know what crossed her mind. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a perception.
Mm-hmm.
It was a perception of maybe they think that I don't know how to give good manners to my
Mm-hmm.
son. It looks like that I didn't feed him at home.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they think that we are really poor people and the kid is starving, and so on. So
Yeah, there could be
it can be
thousands. Yeah.
a world of
Yeah.
reasons. And by the time when you are present in that environment, you really get the energy of these emotions. So even you don't know what was her perception,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but you get it. Okay, so then again, you don't know exactly what is that. You
Yeah.
call it embarrassment. Okay,
Well, now I call it embarrassment
you
because
call
I
it.
could retrospect on it and see, okay, that's what happened.
Okay, but look one thing. The embarrassment is just a layer that
Mm,
is on the top of lack of self-confidence.
mm,
Confidence, okay, and the lack of self-confidence is another layer that is on the top of lack of self-worth and lack of self-love.
mhm,
So as you see, when we go through the emotions and to understand what is really hidden,
mm.
you have to dig,
Yes.
because it's not so simple. Because look, the embarrassment, it's something that is learned.
Hmm.
It didn't come with you,
Yes.
and then it was through your experiences that you start to think, okay, I felt that emotion with the description of the others. I believe that this is embarrassment, and your embarrassment can be totally different from my embarrassment.
Yes. The
Okay,
perception. Hmm.
yes, because for example, when I feel embarrassment, for example, I can feel an impression in my stomach. Okay.
Hmm.
Mm. And for example, you perceive that maybe someone is looking at you in a different way, and you become like quite hyper, catching the perceptions of the others and the reactions of the others. If I'm wrong and if you are wrong, maybe. If we are both right, maybe.
Okay. So,
Because you don't know what the other is really thinking. You
yes,
suspect.
exactly. That's my now leading question. How can we stop caring what other people are thinking about us? How can we make this magical pass and say, okay, I don't care anymore. I am amazing and I will follow it.
Yes, so I think the first part is exactly the mind needs to understand this, that the perception is different. For example, when I say the word dog, you have a dog in your mind and I have a dog in my mind.
Mhm,
Our dogs are different,
mhm.
period. So this is something that rationally the person needs to understand. Okay, we have the same name for the same thing. However, our interpretation, the meaning that is inside of us, it's different. Okay,
Yes.
so what the other thinks that I am, again, it's something like their concept of dog and my concept of
Mhm.
dog.
Yeah.
So it's different. And then it's something that I believe that the thing that is most important to understand when you are getting affected by the behavior of the others, it's when they are projecting. Projection is a defensive mechanism, okay? And in my opinion, it's the most difficult and challenging because I can say that I had several clients that the issue was really when to understand that the people around them were projecting on them.
Mhm.
Because there are people very close to you that you really think, okay, maybe I'm this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, not necessarily.
It's the
You know,
perception of another
it's
person.
the other person. And when you are going to explore the things, you really can understand that is a projection from the
Mhm.
other.
Yeah.
So this is something that needs always also to be learned, how to understand what is mine and what is really from the other.
Mhm.
Because when you start to have confidence about yourself, about your essence, and you start to see that, yes, it's a projection from the other, it's not mine, I start to understand that the projection doesn't need to affect me because it's their business,
Mhm.
not mine.
Yes.
I had recently a situation and that it was shared, and the situation was very interesting because so the person had a situation. I believe that it was maybe almost 1 month ago. Okay, and she had a change of plans, so she couldn't, and even she was not told in advance about
Mhm.
the thing that someone needed from her, and she couldn't go and do what the other asked to her. And because in this case, I can say that it was to work 3 hours. Okay, to work
Mhm.
3 hours. So, and 1 month passed. And recently, the mom texted her a message saying something like, you should appreciate, you cannot spit in what the others offer you, all this kind of speech.
Yeah.
And for me, it was quite evident that it's not personal, you know,
Mhm.
because look, one thing, if this mom, because it was the mom,
Mhm.
if this mom said that speech in that moment, that she didn't go to work. Perfect. That's fine. Okay, it's a judgment, her idea, her opinion, her perception. All right. 1 month later, without any reason, from nothing, comes with this story. Hey, stop there. Because in this case, it's clear that this mom was triggered by something about guilt, about punishment.
Yeah.
And then, because it's very easy, when you have to project some anguish, some emotion that you cannot process inside of you, you just put it out in the other. So this was what happened in this situation. It was a projection.
Projection, exactly.
And it's very difficult to live with them because they are always so incisive that they hurt you.
Because they know which buttons to press.
Yeah. And it's like the most part of the times, the person that is dealing with projection of something, of someone, the question is like, why she told me that? Why now? How she can be so cruel? So when you start with this kind of thoughts, usually it's because of a projection. You just got one and enjoy.
So what is the remedy for the projections of others?
In this case, I think you really have to have professional support to identify them and to understand what is the pattern, because it will be easier. You have to understand with your mind the kind of pattern that the other displays for you. You be quicker. When you face the projection again, it's like, okay, haha, it's here again. So it's a projection, it's not me. Done. Yeah. Because it takes time for you to understand the projection, especially when it's someone close to you.
Yeah.
You trust in the person.
You trust, yeah, you believe
and you expect the best of the person.
Yeah.
So you are not waiting for the worst. And this is something that needs to be worked out for you start to understand what is a mechanism that the other use exactly to avoid the conflict inside of himself. So this needs to be done.
And I believe that there's one more thing that it's very necessary to be told out loud. We are responsible for our own emotions. And every person is responsible for their own emotions. So if someone is projecting on you that you're selfish because you're not doing what they ask you to do, or you're not helping them out because they are in need, you need to understand that it is their problem. And if it doesn't go well with your plans, with your self-esteem, with your values, don't break it. Explain it, but don't break your own self-values, because that's very, very important.
Sorry.
Yeah, tell me, because I wanted to ask another question.
Because now when you were saying that, I was thinking about the victimism. So many times we have, so it's very easy to be a victim, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't want responsibility. Oh, it's happening to me. Oh, I don't know what to do.
No, and look, because you don't have the emotional maturity to understand that actually it was not just the failure of someone, because usually it's like you are very relaxed, and suddenly bang, they hit you, and it's like, what I have done. So this is another thing that it's very important, and even we can have a podcast about the victimism, because it's like every time that you refuse to change yourself and to accept the changes. Okay, so when you say, why am I the one that needs to change?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's the one that makes this and that. She's the one that makes this and that. All them are against me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying that they are gods and angels. Okay. But what do you want to move out from there?
Do you want to
And
stay as a victim or do you want to change it? Yeah.
and it's quite interesting because the most part of the people that are entangled in this victimism, they refuse to make the movement.
Mm-hmm. Because it feels good to be a victim. It's like I don't need to do anything because I am the victim.
Yeah, and again, it's a matter of trying to get always the love from the others. So doesn't have enough love inside, doesn't have self-love. So this is quite important here. For we understand sometimes that, okay, yes, the other did this to me, but what am I going to do with that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to carry on with this information, with that behavior, with that action, or no.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other question?
The other question is about chakras, about our energetical points in the body. How much do you think our solar plexus chakra is connected with our self-confidence, with our self-worth, with deserving and value that we are giving to ourselves?
You know, one thing, it's very connected, but also I would mix the cardiac chakra.
The heart chakra.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because look, one thing, the self-confidence that you can have from that point goes up. The next chakra is exactly the heart, because it's about the transformation. Okay. So these two, they really have to be connected. And just when you start to change exactly your perception, because one thing is when you understand with your mind, another thing is when you understand with your mind and your heart. Okay. So if you understand with your mind and your heart at the same time, there is another way of perceiving the world. And the solar plexus is, of course, a point very important for your self-confidence. However, your self-confidence is exactly attached to this perception of the world and of yourself, of course.
And self-love, exactly.
Yes, yes. It's something that you cannot, in my opinion, you cannot detach them. Because if you detach them, you get arrogance. Isn't it? You just want to be. The others don't care. I don't care. I step over.
Yeah.
So where is the heart involved there?
Yeah, that's a really beautiful observation, because they need to go in tandem, the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra. And solar plexus is corresponding with wealth, with worthiness, with value. Yet if we don't we don't put a pinch of self-love to it and love to other people, we will become arrogant and we will become emotionless, empty.
Yeah, because you get attached to the inferior chakras. Okay, you have the superior chakras and then the lower chakras. The plexus is in the lower. It's self-worth, yes, but it's in the lower. I'm sorry. So it's something, again, that is connected with the ego. It's something that it's here exactly to be worked out, because it's our ego that needs to be worked out. So to have this chakra in balance, you really have to look to your heart for the transformation always.
Transform it through the love,
Yes.
through the unconditional feelings.
You disappeared again. I don't know if you have
Yes,
another
I'm
question.
I am connecting back. Yeah, you solved all my questions and responded all my curiosities for today.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like to tell our viewers and listeners about self-love, self-compassion, self-confidence, and value?
Mm-hmm. Mm. You know one thing, and I think it's quite relevant to to see to see the things in a meaning of we are here always transforming. We are always in evolution
Hmm.
because if you don't look at yourself as something that is getting better, you will really feel that you are a mess and
Hmm.
your self-worth will disappear.
Hmm.
So it's like you have exactly to process the idea that even in the most challenged situation in my past, it was a blessing.
Hmm.
And it is quite difficult because
Yes.
many times we don't see it straight away at all. Sometimes it comes years and years after.
Understanding that everything is happening for us,
Yes,
and the natural way of living is evolution, is growth, and we are
yes,
no different. We are growing constantly and learning constantly, and it's only up to us to start focusing on what we've learned and how can we use it in our future, instead of, oh, it's happening to me and I am powerless and I am a victim and I don't want to do anything with it, because by being a victim I receive love and affection and attention. And yeah, but is it really healthy for you? That's the question.
but this is usually what I do because some people sometimes they say, I'm not, I don't know if I need therapy.
Mm.
Um, I still don't know, and it's okay because usually we just search therapy
Mm.
when we feel really in trouble.
Mm.
Okay, and the thing is always so look at your life. What do you want? Do you want to change everything around you? Are you happy with the reality around you? Are you okay or not? Because this is the big question. Because if you are not feeling well, this is a signal for change.
Yes.
So if it's not now, later, it's not a problem. Time is here with us.
All right. So to sum up today's conversation, trust yourself, know yourself, discover who you truly are, and keep those thoughts about yourself on the first point as your priority. And then you will see that you feel better, you behave better, you are a better person in general, more self confident, more at ease, and have way, way more value than you would ever expect. So yeah, that was Power Pass, your ticket to greatness. Thank you, Hakiel, for this beautiful
Thank
knowledge
you,
and
Matt.
conversation. And we see you next week
Yes,
at
on Monday.
yes, Monday, 5 p.m. of British summertime, on Instagram Live, Hakiel's Instagram Live, and then we are uploading our episodes on YouTube and on podcast stations. So bless you all. Have a great day.
Bye, bye, bye. Thank you.
Bye.